Today, we cut some wood with a circular saw. We cut some wood with a bandsaw. And we cut some flesh with a knife. Hey guys, how you going? In this two-part series, I'm going to be showing you how I make a river resin table, taking you all the way through from CAD to the resin application, leg fabrication, and finishing. I'm also going to show you what not to do as I learned through this project. So let's get to it. This is my rough CAD model. It's what I've kind of had in my mind that I just put down and tweaked to fit my dimensions. Obviously it's going to be a round dining table, about 750mm elevation, and with 20mm steel legs. You might have seen these slabs in a previous video. I picked these up really cheap, but they have an awesome live edge that's going to look great. So first thing to do is make the pieces roughly round and to size, with a bit of tolerance, so they can be moulded up for the resin. You don't need anything fancy, all you just need is a constant radius bit of wood, and you'll see I use this application further down the road as well. Then it's onto the big task of cutting all these pieces to size, and getting them as round as possible, so we have minimal leakage of any resin. This wood only measures roughly 8 to 10% moisture content, even though when I'm cutting it, it does look quite wet. The size of this piece means I just can't get it on the bandsaw. I'm going to take it as close as I can to final dimension and then finish it off with a router jig. So then we flip it and do it all over again. Concentricity is not a huge issue at this point. All I want is a relatively constant radius. So the garden edging I'm going to use to mould up the table will stick nice and close to the perimeter of the material. Moulding up, I want the table as flat and level as possible, so there's minimal wastage when this is thickness. After cutting the garden edging to length, I'm going to give it a clean so I don't get any dirt in my resin. And glue it in place with hot glue. And following that, seal it up with some silicone sealant. I don't want any leaks. I'm going to be using litres of resin here. I don't want it all over my floor. Having done that, the wood itself can be finished in preparation for the pour. This involves getting rid of any dirt, bark and loose pieces of wood that might drift during the pour or prevent good adhesion. And I'm going really heavy with the mold release. I don't want the resin on the floor, but I do want the table to come out. Clamp down the pieces so there's minimal lift of the parts out of the mold, and then hit it with a sealant coat before going ahead with the colour. And this is where things start going wrong, or at least so I think. As we'll see later, we get some problems I think with this base coat, so an idea here probably would have been to hit it with another coat prior to going ahead with the colour pour. Then once this is done and dry, I come back and do some colour pours. Now I'm just using a standard resin. This is a standard non-deep pour resin. So what do I do wrong here? I had a bit of leakage, so at this point I'm trying to put a ratchet strap on to kind of pull that mold in just a little bit closer to the wood to minimize my wastage. And I think this also caused a problem down the line. And here we go. Do you see smoke? It's not on fire, but it may as well be. So, first don't deviate from directions. The reason I poured so much was to try and ensure colour consistency across the batches. Some significant bubbles also appeared whilst the resin was curing, I think this being due to the ratchet strapping, which bowed the wood and allowed air to escape from voids under the table. That, or heat and or insufficient base coat, allowed air to escape from the wood itself. Does it look cool? You let me know. This definitely doesn't look cool, but we should be able to fix that with another small pour. Anyway, regardless of the issues, after giving it one more pour to fill up those cracks, it comes away from the mold beautifully. So it's off to the CNC for flattening. Next time, we're going to go ahead by fabbing the legs, welding them up, painting, and then finishing off by filling any last little defects, sanding and polishing. Thanks for joining me today. Come back next time and we'll finish off this project together. Chuck us a like and a sub if you would, it helps me out a lot. Cheers, bye.